everyone, welcome to another Anime Kingdom review. See by the title below, yes, this is on episode 5 of Shokugeki no Soma, and yes, I know, I'm sorry that I've missed the last 3 episodes up to this point. It's just, if you haven't been up to date with my Facebook and Twitter, or you haven't, watched my latest vlog, I just did not have the time. First week, I was like literally just so damn sick, I couldn't do anything, and that like transitioned into the second week. And then from there, I also had midterms, and just I did not have the time between being sick and of course having to deal with midterms. I did not have the time to watch all the anime that I wanted to watch, and that of course includes obviously Shokugeki no Soma. And you guys saw from how, I reviewed episode 1, I absolutely loved it and I was so excited to see how things are going to go for the rest of the season. So it definitely was not intentional for me to just not go ahead and review those other episodes, because I really did. When I finally did find the time to watch it, I was like, man, I wish I could talk about that, but it would end up being like a 3 episode, a triple episode, 4 episode, quadra episode review. I don't want to do that, so I decided to just go ahead and start back here on episode 5, and it's a good point to start off, considering the fact that this was the episode that I want you guys to see. This is the episode I want to see your guys' reactions and see what you guys thought, considering the fact that this episode is the episode that everything changes. This is where it changes, considering the fact that, yes, before and even after, there's still a threat. The big threat is obviously the biggest threat you can have. It's not going to be people killing each other. It's going to be you're going to be expelled from the school, obviously, And that was a common occurrence throughout, like, Shokugeki no Soma all the way to this point. But there's never been like a huge main antagonist that any of the cast have to deal with. Sure, there was the Mimasaka moment. That is indeed someone that you can consider a minor antagonist and everything. But Azami, as you saw in this one, he is the main antagonist, and having him finally come in, like, I'm not saying that the rest of it before was bad. I actually absolutely loved everything before this arc, but this arc honestly just gets a whole different feel, and I cannot wait to see how you guys see and think of everything, your thoughts on everything that comes from here on out, because honestly things are going to get crazy. Sure, the school was already crazy to begin with, everything that was going on before was crazy, but it's going to get a lot more darker. It's going to get a lot more crazier now that Azami, as you saw at the very end, is indeed in charge. And honestly, I love the way that they did it, bringing in Azami in. Like, when you read the manga, I'm not just talking about this anime, I'm talking about any anime. When you read a manga and then it, becomes adapted later on, it's just a whole nother feeling. Like, I absolutely loved the manga for Shokugeki no Soma, but when I see moments like this, that when you're reading the manga, it's just black and white, there's no music, and I always say the soundtrack literally in Shokugeki no Soma just always changes the way you feel, and it's awesome. Like, the very end soundtrack, the song that was going on at the very end literally had me like, holy shit, man, things are getting crazy, and I cannot wait to see the next episode. And there was the elegance of the music in the moment when we got to see Tsukasa doing his dishes and everything, and it really changes the atmosphere. Those kind of moments, the animation as well, obviously, those are the kind of things that you do not see when you're reading the manga, and the facial expressions as well. Sure, you can see there, you can change it and draw them right there, but to see the faces actually moving and changing when you see the in the anime, it's a whole nother feeling. And the feeling that I got when Azami entered the room, it was already enough that you're like, holy shit, like, you can see his pure black clothes, he's like super pale, it's kind of scary, kind of creepy, like, what the heck, and he has this imposing attitude that he's better than everyone, and everyone there is pretty much just trash. And I, when I first read it, I was like, dang, these guys are literally like the top of the top in the culinary world, and he's literally just looking at them like they are not worth it at all. And from that already, you can kind of see that this guy is the main enemy. This guy is going to be someone you don't want to deal with and everything. But what makes him even more scary is that when you see Erina, you see her as this very confident woman. She's just always thinks she's better than everyone and everything. It can get a little, pretty out of hand sometimes. But she's, the God's tongue and everything. Everyone sees her as she is that good, But to see her, someone like her character, not a character that gets scared at all. Sure, she has these moments where she starts blushing, getting embarrassed and stuff like that, but that's just cute moments, it's okay to have those. But for a character that you've never seen her get scared of competition, get scared of someone and everything, someone like, not, Megumi has gotten, her character development is awesome because she went from being super scared to just a really strong, confident, character. Sure, she has her moments where she's still scared, but we've never seen that for a character like Erina. And to see her start shivering and not being able to say a word when Azami comes in, that just goes to show how scary and how messed up this guy is. And you get to see as well when Senzamon is talking to him that he regrets not allowing Erina to be in Azami's care and everything before this point. Yes, I still don't really know about what's going on, we don't know fully what's going on, what he did to her and everything that makes Senzamon say that, and why Erina is like this, pure just terror in her eyes. But it's obviously something that that is something very bad, and you can see that this guy is definitely scary, And the thing about it too is that this is the one thing that I keep on, I always think back and like, are you kidding me? Is this real? Is this real? Because yes, I get it. The Elite 10 is powerful. They are like pretty much the future of culinary. They're going to pioneer the future of culinary after leaving the school and everything. They're the best of the best. So I get it when they have a lot of influence, they get a lot of help from the outside world. When they, if they want something, they pretty much get it, And I get that, and I get the whole thing that they can have authority to change things with the student body as well. But the one thing I feel like they shouldn't have the ability to do, and they end up being able to do it, is the ability to pretty much take the director out of his position and bring someone who is obviously frowned upon in the community and have that person be the leader. And obviously this guy is going to be a damn dictator from just how you see him already, with him saying that there's only one way of cooking and everything else is just animal feed. Like that part right there is literally like, okay, so he thinks everyone else's food is literally trash, and there's only one way to make food, and there's only certain people that should be allowed to have that kind of gourmet food, and that right there, like when I saw that they were allowed to give him the authority, I was like, man, this is so unrealistic. I cannot see this even being possible happening. But I mean, obviously that's how certain things are. There's only a certain way to be able to bring this in, and Shokugeki no Soma was already crazy enough, so it's not that big of a surprise, But overall, honestly, they did a great job at, the way they presented Azami and pretty much adapting it straight off how it was in the manga. And from seeing it from the manga to the anime, honestly, 10 out of 10. I am so excited to see what's going to happen in these next several episodes, and I cannot wait to see your guys' reactions and hear your guys' thoughts on how you felt about this episode and how you felt you're going to feel about the next episodes coming in. Because like I said before, things are going to change. The anime, sure, is still obviously going to be focused on cooking. Sure, we're still going to get, our fan service and foodgasms and everything. There's going to be those kind of funny moments. It's not all going to be grim and everything, but things are going to get darker, and things are going to get a lot more hectic and a lot more crazier in the for the rest of this season. And I cannot wait to, pretty much, talk about how I feel about that and see what you guys think about that as well. But let's start talking about everything else, because I started talking everything about Azami because that's like the main crazy thing that happened at the end of this episode. But there was still other stuff, there was still crazy stuff with the whole thing with Kouga and Soma. We finally got the conclusion to that, to which pretty much, Rindo put it, perfectly, honestly, in the fact that it was a war without victors. Soma, even though he had the opportunity to go and have that Shokugeki for that spot on the Elite 10 against Kouga, he didn't want that. He wanted to completely beat, Kouga in pretty much total. And in the end, that doesn't happen. And then you get to see a good contrast between Kouga's character and Soma's character, and actually how similar they really are. Kouga did the exact thing that Soma did by challenging someone, and instead of obviously, pretty much no one accepted his thing, Kouga got someone to accept, which is of course Tsukasa. And then we get to see, besides the whole thing with how Azami is like the main antagonist in this episode, you really get to see how much better that the first seed, Tsukasa, is above everyone. This guy is literally the best of the best. It came to a point when we saw them, some of them eating, that it's funny to see how he can be so like at moments like, oh my gosh, are you okay, is it too hot, is it too cold, like it's funny, you see that kind of stuff, but he's so confident in his cooking and he's so confident in the ingredients, and when you see him, cooking, it's like a damn play. It's like he only allows like 3 people, 3 tables and everything. You think, what the heck, that's dumb, right? And it kind of made sense why you saw the whole thing with pretty much everyone is, there's rankings of who's on the top there, and he's only like 4th, I think, because he doesn't take as much people. He only takes the best of the best, and when he does cook for them, he just cooks amazingly. We got a different type of foodgasm that we have ever seen in the rest of the series. It was like a out of this world godly foodgasm when you see Soma and Megumi go into their foodgasm mode. And like I said, I'm super happy that we got to see a lot more of Rindo in this episode, because I just love her character and she's just so funny. The interaction between her and Soma, the interactions with her and Tsukasa, and it's funny because you see all the Elite 10, they talk about them, where they are placed and everything, and everything they made for pretty much their own stalls and everything. And then you have Rindo, oh yeah, I pretty much visit every single stall and ate from every single one of them in those days. And I'm over here just cracking up, and some of them cannot believe it. And I'm like, yeah, that's Rindo, all right. I can't wait to see what you guys think of her as well, because, yeah, she's an awesome character. And, don't just look at her and think, oh, okay, how the hell is she second seat? You'll see later on. There's a reason why she's the second seat. She is really good as well. She's not just going around eating food. You wouldn't be able to get to the second seat like that. But overall, it was a great way to show, that Kouga is just like Soma, and in a lot of ways, and that's why we'll probably see, you'll see more things going on between Soma and Kouga, and of course the whole thing with the White Knight of the Round Table. That's like a pretty damn awesome name, considering the fact it's for cooking. Like, if I got that name, I'd be like, yeah, that's pretty badass. And of course, Rindo ruins it and starts laughing like, I can't believe they gave him that cool name and everything. When I first heard it, she was cracking up, and I feel sorry for Tsukasa sometimes when I see the interaction between them. But yeah, Tsukasa is like on a whole nother level. Soma is a character that we've seen in, just like I said with Erina, and how her reaction to Azami is like something we've never seen before. That's another thing with Soma. We've never seen him like be scared of someone. Like, he wasn't really scared, but he was like thinking that he's nowhere near the level of the first seat. He's nowhere near the level of Tsukasa after eating his food. And this is coming from the person who's challenged his father and, lost like so many times, but still has the confidence to keep on going on. And to see him say that just goes and shows how, how good the cooking is of Tsukasa when it comes to how Soma's character was before this point, So overall, really good episode showing off Tsukasa and how pretty much just levels and levels above everyone he is. And then of course, like I said, I can, finally gain the part where Azami, he is finally here. He is now in charge, and things are going to get crazier. And I honestly can't wait to see how these next episodes will go. But yeah, that's all I got to say, guys. Hope you enjoyed this Anime Kingdom review. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If there's anything I missed and you want to talk about, comment below as well. And if you did enjoy it, feel like, if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe for more content. And as always, guys, I want to hear your guys' thoughts. How did you feel about this episode? Did you enjoy the moments? Did you enjoy the moments with Kouga and, the relationship, kind of seeing how he is just like Soma? Did you enjoy Rindo like I did? Was it cool to see Tsukasa and everything? And what do you guys think? This is the main one I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think of Azami, and what are your expectations for the future episodes? Because I cannot wait to see what you guys have to think, because I think this is the point where things get pretty crazy, and it'll be interesting to see how you guys think of it, because I thought of it in a certain way when I first read the manga, and I want to see if you guys think the same way as well. But yeah, that's all I gotta say, guys. So till next time, see ya.